Hi guys, welcome back. Second video today. I'm going to talk to you about an awesome book, Nightfall and Other Stories by Isaac Asimov. This is a new edition of a book that's been released more than once. First, well, there's stories that were all individually published in journals and so on, like sci-fi, science fiction magazines and so on, even Playboy magazine, evidently. So it was first published together in 1969, but I bet you that it's been, okay, it says fourth printing here. So I have a feeling that this book shows up anytime Isaac Asimov kind of hits the news or hits the mainstream for whatever reason. Nightfall is the titular story here, and it's his most celebrated short story, and rightly so. It is knock your socks off good, but you know what? There are several stories in here that are just awesome. I have a feeling that the stories get worse as you go along. Okay, so the one, two, three. The first several are definitely the best, and sort of ones that aren't as good sort of follow through in towards the end. So there's what? Let me see. About 20 short stories, and the book is just under 400 pages. So it's awesome. If you like sci-fi, but you don't want to get bogged down by a huge novel or something, like his Foundation series or something, then it's a great place to go. Like I can't say those iRobot ones are ponderous in the weight sense, in the gravitational sense of the word. I find them easy-ish reading, but Foundation is much more intimidating. But I'm going to read the Foundation series eventually. Love this book, and I think there's something in it for everyone, every taste, and so on. Let me just offer just a few things, a few random statements. Science fiction, at least as Isaac Asimov presents it, or should I say the science fiction short story, isn't necessarily a story. It could be a slice of life. Like, to my mind, a story is like an argument. It has a beginning, middle, and end. There's some kind of resolution. There's a crisis that has some resolution. However those words are defined. And I find that sometimes they're, with Asimov stories, they're just illustrations of what could be. And if X was the case, then Y and Z follow. That's it. Is that a story? I don't know. It depends on your definition of story. That's all I can say about that. Now, these short stories were written in the 40s and 50s, maybe the 60s as well. I think, yeah, probably the 60s as well. Are they dated? No, they're not dated. But in a few ways, you can say that Asimov would be surprised to see the way that technology has advanced since his time. He would be surprised that we don't have, well, I guess we do have room or building size computers anymore, but we do, don't we? In some places we do, these supercomputers and so on. But I think he would be blown away by the size of computers. But in a way, his idea of the positronic brain that he features in, anytime he has robots or whatever, his idea of the positronic brain was very much commensurate with the way that technology has advanced, so that we can put, massive computing power in my laptop here, or in a cell phone or something. So I suppose that in a way he was prescient of that, In other places, sometimes the stories seem a bit like a Star Trek episode. Now, that's not his fault. He wrote these before Star Trek, and Gene Roddenberry and all the others were definitely inspired by him, not vice versa. Was he wrong about anything? Was he foolish? Is he... No. There's nothing that jumps to mind where he's just utterly wrong about something. Asimov is an interesting enough character. I have read 90% of his autobiography, which is just accidentally I didn't finish, and I'll review it someday. And he strikes me as a really easygoing person. So he never lectures. He never he is not an evangelist for scientism, for anything. He's not anti-religion. He's nothing like that. He doesn't hate humanity, but he certainly has he has a great ability to imagine other kinds of sentient life and not say that one is like way better than the other. His stories aren't confusing. He doesn't leave you in the lurch with too much science talk. And I guess that's the basis of his immense popularity and ongoing popularity. So I highly recommend this collection of short stories. And for me, every time I come across an Asimov, I pick it up. I buy it. I steal it. I borrow it. No, I don't steal stuff, okay? And he's never disappointed me. And I definitely would like to find another sci-fi writer I enjoy as much. And so we'll see what happens with that. I know you guys are going to say, well, has Colin read Dune? No, I haven't read Dune. I saw the original movie back in the 80s. Was it the 80s when that movie came out? Probably early 80s. Sting is in it. Yeah, early 80s, I'm guessing. I really enjoyed that movie. I don't want to see the remake. I don't want to see the sequel of the remake. Why? Because the first movie was awesome and gross, and the story was perfectly told in a way that I don't want to see a modern computer-generated nonsense version. I like that. I like that story. That version of Dune. It wasn't streamlined and flawless. It had texture. It was gripping and jarring. Why am I going on like this? I'm not going to read Dune. Well, I'm probably not going to read Dune because the storyline doesn't speak to me that strongly. I don't care. Like the plot was fine, but I don't need to explore it any further. Whereas things like Foundation, iRobot, and stuff, those themes do intrigue me, and do inspire me to create and think about things like that. Okay, guys, read this book. It's awesome. You won't regret it. Bye now.